Today, a new variant emerges. First detected in South Africa, now countries banning travel from the area while scientists gaze the danger. And that potential danger is spooking Wall Street. A market sell-off today, with the Dow posting its biggest single-day drop this year. But shoppers weren't deterred. Back on the hunt for Black Friday deals today. We hear what they had to say. That and much more coming up on NTD Business. Good evening. Great to have you with us. I'm Paul Graney. We're facing a reported new variant of the CCP virus, the Omicron variant. Scientists say it's still too early to know how dangerous it is, but some countries, including the United States, have already decided to block travel from southern Africa. That's where the variant was first detected. NTD's Evelyn Lee reports.
Omicron, the new CCP virus variant first detected in Africa, appears to be quickly spreading. Tourists in Africa flock to the airport as the WHO advises countries not to restrict travel.
Implementing travel measures is being cautioned against.
As the US, Israel, and the EU ban travel anyway.
We need to take all measures that are appropriate at this stage to prevent this virus from entering in Europe.
Experts say we don't fully know the health impact of the new variant yet.
This variant is very different. This is not a drift away from the original. This is a massive shift. This is a massive change in terms of mutations. Just to give you an idea, the Alpha variant had about 23 mutations in the virus. The Delta variant had about 17. This variant has 50 mutations from the original strain.
Dr. Roger Schwelt is a critical care physician at Beaver Medical Group. Schwelt says we don't know how effective current vaccines will be against the Omicron variant.
This new variant has 32 mutations in the spike protein, and that's very important because that's the part of the virus that antibodies are directed against.
Dr. Susan Hopkins is the Chief Medical Officer of the UK Health Security Agency. Hopkins says the mutations in the spike protein are of concern.
And the mutations show evidence of increased transmissibility, increased infectivity, and also evidence that it could evade the immune response and also the treatment with monoclonal antibodies such as Ronapreve. All those are very concerning.
And the Dow, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all had their worst Black Friday sessions ever. Evelyn Lee, NTD News.
As Evelyn Lee just mentioned, Wall Street saw one of its worst days of the year, opening lower and staying down. The Dow briefly falling more than 1,000 points, closed down over 900, about 2.5%. The S&P 500 fell over 100 points, about 2%. The NASDAQ dropping over 350 points, also over 2% today. Moderna and Pfizer stocks both shot up. Stay-at-home stocks like Zoom, Peloton also surging, while so-called reopening stocks fell like travel stocks, Expedia, Airbnb, and cruise lines. Oil also falling sharply down to a 2-month low. So joining us is Lance Roberts, Chief Strategist with RIA Advisors. Lance helps manage over $1 billion in assets with RIA. Lance, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Lance, we see some action the first day after Thanksgiving. We see Zoom up, Peloton up, airlines, other travel-related stocks down. Are you going to buy the dip, or you think that this might be something that will take the wind out of the recent rally?
Well, so a couple of things here. We've been talking about for the last couple of weeks to be a little bit more defensive heading into Thanksgiving week. Volume has been very light. Breadth has been very negative for the market. There's just not been a lot of commitment to the current rally that we saw leading up really into Thanksgiving. So when you have that type of environment, it just takes a little bit of bad news to get selling kind of to start. And that's what you saw today was, there's nobody around trading. Most of your traders are gone from institutions. So as we say in the business, the inmates were running the asylum. And so you kind of get these outsized moves and likely, yes, to answer your question, this will likely be a bit of a buying opportunity. Over the next week, we're going to have mutual funds distribute capital gains, dividends, and interest. So we may see some more pressure on the markets near term. But that's going to set the market up for that traditional year-end rally as all these professional managers, hedge funds, pension funds, et cetera, rebalance their portfolios and what we call window dress for the end-of-year reporting.
You mentioned people aren't really at the office today. The inmates are running the asylum. How much of this price action is down to human action, and how much of it comes down to algorithms reading the news and acting on them?
That's a lot of it. And when you have a lot of algorithms running the market, particularly like a day like today where computers are kind of unmanned, so to speak, and these algorithms are making their own buy-sell decisions. And there's nobody really to counter that because most of your humans are out of the markets. You know, they're out for holidays, they're gone for the weekends. They won't come back till next week. So, you know, that's where you're seeing, that's why, you know, when you have this type of environment and a short day, you get these kind of outsized moves of the market.
What would make you change your thesis on it? Would you need to see some countries put in travel restrictions again or something a little bit more tangible related to the pandemic?
Well, I think, you know, we're already starting to see it. My son lives in Germany. They're already starting to talk about lockdowns there. We're starting to see more talk about lockdowns in other parts of Europe. You know, this is what we saw in February of 2020. We saw the early kind of rise of the pandemic. Nobody was really paying much attention to it. We were writing and kind of warning about it back then, recommending to take some cash, you know, out of portfolios at that point, just kind of reduce some of the risk because it was kind of an unknown variant at that time. And, you know, markets pretty much kind of understand what these pandemics are now. They've gotten a lot of this stuff priced in. Could this time be different? Maybe. But there is a risk. I mean, if the current administration here begins to get more negative and, you know, starting to shut down parts of the economy, restrict more activity and movement in the economy, yeah, that could certainly have a more derogatory effect to markets. And we want to be a lot more cautious at that point.
Very good. Lance Roberts, RIA Advisors. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And for Black Friday, wanted to see how things are shaping up for retailers, especially on news of the new variant. So NTD's Phil Zhou visited downtown New York.
It's Black Friday. NTD News went to top shopping destination, Soho in New York City.
I mean, I don't normally go Black Friday shopping, so...
No, this is just a spur-of-the-moment thing we did. I'm not sure what I'm going to actually buy today, but I'm still thinking about it.
It just happens to be Black Friday. It's not why I'm shopping, but and I live here, just so you know.
Shops were packed with local New Yorkers and visitors from afar. We caught up with prominent trial lawyer Tony Busby from Texas. He's glad to be shopping in stores again.
I think there's a lot more excitement in the atmosphere, and I think people are happy to be going back to stores instead of doing everything online. So it's nice to be outside. It's nice to be in the stores. You know, people are taking precaution.
Many stores open early in the morning, but one toy shop in New York is opening later in the day, offering toys and prices that shoppers can't resist.
Happy Black Friday! I'm here with my friend Pen at the Minnesota gift shop in Soho. It's their grand opening tomorrow, but NTD News got a sneak peek for what they have to offer. Almost everything in the store is under $10.
From stuffed animals to accessories to all kinds of gifts. The most expensive item here, under $20. It comes as South Africa just reported a new virus variant to the WHO, now called the Omicron variant. How is that going to impact people's daily lives?
I feel like people are kind of getting over it and getting frustrated by it, so I don't know if people will follow requirements as much.
It's going to be another virus that we have to deal with, but I think we're kind of used to it now. You know, I'm not going to hopefully let it affect me too much and let it affect my family.
You know, it's tough, but at the same time, we all have to help each other and just push through this.
Back at the toy store, they're offering a raffle for every $15 purchase. You can win a shopping spree, or the top prize, a giant Spider-Man.
Guys, I'm not waiting for no raffle. I'm taking Spider-Man home today. Good luck at the drawing.
Phil Zhou, NTD News, New York.
You can find Black Friday deals at physical stores, but you can also get them online. But where are most people hunting for deals this year, and have shopping habits changed at all? NTD's Arian Pastor has the details.
It's 2021, so do people still like to go to the store, or do they prefer to just stay at home and shop from there? I took to the streets of Manhattan to find out. Are you shopping in the store or online?
Store. Looking for them online if something makes sense.
Online or in person?
In person.
Why in person? Do you just prefer that? Do you think it's better?
You could just try on the material before you buy it.
New Yorkers I spoke with seem to have different opinions, but there might still be an overall trend this year.
at least the preliminary surveys indicate that a lot of people do intend to actually hit the stores on Black Friday.
Michael Solomon is a marketing advisor for a number of well-known companies. He says both online and in-person shopping might increase this year.
Increase in shopping in general, why is that? Why are people shopping more? I would assume that people are shopping less with the inflation and all that.
Well, I'm not sure that that inflation has become a huge concern for many people. It's definitely getting on their radar screens, but they're at this point more concerned about everything they're hearing about supply chain delays. They seem to be hearing quite a bit about the need to get out early and get what you need for your loved ones before you can't find it anymore. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but people seem to be getting that message.
He added that no one wants to end up empty-handed on Christmas, so people are making sure to get what they need early. Arian Pastar, NTD News, New York.
So with Black Friday winding down, we're joined by Sharon Mardis, Director of Consumer Research with Refinitiv. Sharon, great to see you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. It's good to be here.
Sharon, are you expecting blowout sales this year, or are you afraid that maybe supply chain problems could put a damper on things?
In a collaboration with StyleSage, Refinitiv did discover that the average promotional discount has come down significantly compared to the previous 2 years. It's also lower than the year-to-date average and also lower than what we've seen over the last 2 months. Traditionally, during this time of year, the average promotional discount is over 40%, and this year round, it's like closer to 33.7%, suggesting that we won't see as much discounting as we have seen in the past.
You think the demand is still there? There were some people kind of contemplating or thinking that as stimulus wore off, demand would fade a little. Are you seeing it as strong as ever?
So the sold-out rates for the month of November alone have been stronger than the two holiday shopping seasons from the previous 2 years.
So what are they, sold-out rates? What are they, Sharon?
Sure. So it tells us how many times items have been sold out completely. And that percentage rate is 3 times stronger than over the previous 2 years. And this is mainly because consumers did actually go out and shop earlier this year, as early as October. And then a lot of it was done much earlier in November, even though the kickoff for the holiday season tends to be Black Friday. So a lot of the sold out items also have to do with a little bit of the reopening, meaning that consumers did feel comfortable opening up their doors for friends and family this Thanksgiving. We saw that a lot of more people traveled this Thanksgiving week. And as a result, consumers did go out and did shop for new apparel. A lot of dresses, jumpsuits were the items that were sold out the most.
Sharon Mardis, Refinitiv, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the holiday season is a busy time for the trucking industry. This year, with the supply chain problems, some truckers have to work around the clock. Pressure and frustration are now taking a toll. Lisa Bernhardt has more.
The ripple effect of global supply chain issues has not only hit U.S. ports, but the country's roads as well. Gustavo Carrion Valero has been a truck driver for more than 30 years, mostly servicing New York's JFK airport, and said heading into the holidays, he often works round the clock due to the pressures of the job.
So right now I start at 4 in the morning to finish my shift sometime 1, 2, 3 in the morning.
The president of H&R Freight, Michael Triolo, where Carrion Valero works, said truck drivers sometimes wait 20 hours at JFK just to load one shipment.
Drivers are getting frustrated with staff at the airlines, frustrated with each other in the parking lot. There's been altercations back and forth with lack of structure to pick up the cargo in the airport.
That's a big problem, given that trucks move about 70% of all the freight on the ground, says Stephen Flynn, head of the Global Resilience Institute at Northeastern University.
The folks who are on the ground are doing all they can essentially to work around a system that's basically in complete constipation.
Liz Picarazzi, founder of custom trash container company Citybin, said between sourcing raw materials like bamboo and aluminum and shipping, her product is part of about 15 different supply chain lines.
So the shipment that we just received was on a very long journey. It was about 7 months.
when normally it would be about 10 to 12 weeks.
Her husband, Frank, the company's COO, said it's impossible to run a, quote, lean business due to the unpredictable nature of the health crisis.
A shutdown in a hub in China means months of delays over here. So you can't really be agile anymore or nimble. You have to overbuy inventory. So when you eventually receive it, you've got 6 months of supply. So you can basically remain in business.
Despite companies like UPS and FedEx pledging to work 24/7 to ease the glut, supply chain problems are expected to last into 2022.
So joining us are two businesses that were made in America long before the pandemic supply chain problems made it cool again. We have Mark Andel, CEO of the Made in America store. Everything in this store is made in America, even the packaging. The store is in Elma, New York, but you can also shop online. We also have Jackson Harron, owner of Wintergreen Northern Wear in Minnesota. Wintergreen makes unique outdoor clothing inspired by the Minnesota landscape. Guys, great to see both of you. Thanks for coming on. Jackson, maybe we can start with you. I'm curious, how are you guys navigating the supply chain problems? Has it been easier given that you're made in America, or you're finding it difficult to source raw materials maybe?
I would say it's been a little challenging at times, but not detrimental to our production. We try to source as much as we can domestically, but there's only so much that you can do with raw materials buying domestic. So we do have some product that comes from overseas that we're feeling some pain on keeping our resupply, our supply chain going. But for the most part, we're getting through, and we're able to have the materials when we need them.
You think it's helped you vis-a-vis your competitors who are maybe bringing more in from overseas?
Well, I think definitely it is a huge advantage. I think that what I found with the small businesses, it takes a relationship, throughout your entire supply chain to really get the materials in the first place that you need at the quality that they need to be at, and in the smaller quantities and some of the hand-selected requirements that we have. So just those relationships we're able to leverage during times like this. And when we have run into issues with some delays in shipments to us, there's a lot of personal contact around that, and that helps you through it and see it coming and be able to manage that downstream. So.
Very good. Mark, you manufacture your own products in the States, but you also sell for other people, third parties who are made in America and want to sell at your store or your online store. Are you seeing more people now coming and saying we're building something new in America, or at least we're thinking about it? Will you guys maybe sell it for us in the future?
Absolutely. I own General Welding and Fabricating, our parent company, and we manufacture quite a few things. And like Jason, rapid inflation, product shortage, all play a part. But with Made in America stores, they're 100% Made in America, our products. That's where we're unique. We're the only one in the world. Started 11 years ago. Again, I lost half my business to China back then. But, with our 500 vendors now, like Jason, our vendors, it's like God hit the reset button because they got more demand than ever. They're working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And it's kind of beautiful. We don't depend on shipping containers at all at Made in America, not at all. And tariffs don't affect us. But we have a lot of products that are made in America. But then, like you said, new vendors are now realizing the 40-year mistake of the supply chain issue is causing our vendors and new vendors to say, hey, we should make more in our country. So, it's definitely working well. But they started shopping heavier in September. This has been going on a while, even though today, it's Black Friday.
And Jackson, how about you, I suppose? What are some of the challenges as a Made in America company, and how do you communicate the value to prospective customers as well?
Right. That's a great question. We really hang our hat on quality. We feel that our handmade products are the highest quality and most functional solutions for people out there. And I think a lot of our customers, they buy into the story, both for Wintergreen and for Northern Toboggan, really with that aspect of, hey, we're making real traditional and highest quality products that are going to keep you warm. It's been tested on the North and South Pole, for example. And we're able to communicate that. And I think that's a value proposition for people. Like, they know where it's coming from, and they know it's proven. And we just have to trust that, we do our best work every day, and we are as fair with our prices as we can be. And it's been proving, at least so far, that people are coming along with us, and more are getting on board with that.
Excellent. Jackson, Mark, appreciate it. Happy holidays. Talk again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
as well.
And today, Tesla said it's withdrawn its application for state aid. It's for its German battery plant. CEO Elon Musk declaring that Tesla is opposed to all subsidies, although it did take money from the U.S. government to cover payroll during the pandemic. The European Union in January approved a plan that included giving state aid to Tesla, BMW, and others to support production of electric vehicle batteries and help reduce imports from China. Germany says Tesla itself is investing over $5 billion in the battery plant. Tesla says the decision to turn down state funds won't impact construction plans for the plant. He hopes to formally begin production by the end of the year. And the chairman of China Evergrande Group sold over 1 billion shares in the company just yesterday. It's around 9% of his stake. China's largest real estate firm has struggled to meet repayments of more than $300 billion in debt over recent months. And sources said authorities told Hui to use his personal wealth to pay bondholders. Now he's also selling luxury assets like art, calligraphy, and high-end homes to free up funds. And still to come this evening. Collins Dictionary announcing its word of the year. It's not even a word. Find out which tech term exploded in usage this year. And an ancient wine factory is discovered in Iraq. It's nearly 3,000 years old. We take a look at how they did things back then. That and more after this short break.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. Cancel culture has not only affected myself and MyPillow, but millions of you out there. Before all this started, I had already written in my memoir, I dedicate this book to anyone that's looking for hope. Well, right now, we're all looking for hope. I believe that my story is going to bring inspiration and hope to everyone. By the time you're done reading my book, you will believe that with God, all things are possible. To thank you all for your support, I'm offering some of my best prices ever on MyPillow products, including this exclusive bundle. You get my book and these 5 MyPillows. They all have beautiful scenes and verses from the Bible, such as Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear, for I am with you. This 6-pack bundle is regularly $219. Now it's just $99.98 and free shipping with your promo code. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code on your screen or call the 1-800 number below. Thank you and God bless.
You are not just watching a performance. You are witnessing a culture reborn. Now, you'll see what the modern world has never seen. China, before communism. Shen Yun 2021, live on stage. Coming to West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami, November 8th through January 9th. Tickets at shenyun.com/SFL.
On January 6, 2021, I went to Washington, D.C., along with multitudes of other Americans because we believed that the election was stolen. What they show you on the media doesn't tell half the story.
The FBI, not with your hands up.
I step out, I have red dots all over my chest.
I'm really scared. They handcuffed me.
They handcuffed you?
Yes.
The 6 was all deception.
This is psychological warfare.
One voice has millions.
Welcome back. Collins Dictionary announced its word of the year this week. It chose NFT, stands for non-fungible token. The usage of NFT has increased 11,000% in 2021 as digital assets like cryptocurrencies gain mainstream acceptance. The managing director for Collins Learning told The Guardian it is unusual for an abbreviation to see such a huge increase in usage. Collins' definition of NFT is a unique digital certificate registered in a blockchain that's used to record ownership of an asset like an artwork or collectible. Besides NFT, other tech words to make it into the dictionary are crypto and metaverse. And an ancient wine-making factory has been discovered in northern Iraq. The site is carved into a mountainside. NTD's Andrew Thomas takes a look.
This ancient wine press factory was carved into these mountains almost 3,000 years ago. Iraqi archaeologists say it made wine and other fruit juices, using 14 basins connected to each other through small canals.
Each basin was used to crush agricultural products such as olives, grapes, or the rest of the fruits, and the liquid was coming down here along with bits and other ingredients. And after it fills up and reaches this level, the light liquid which floats on top starts to go down into the storage tank that lays below.
The University of Duhok announced the discovery in late October. Archaeologists say it dates back 2,700 years.
This factory is considered to be the oldest and the largest winemaking factory in northern Mesopotamia.
They say it was built during King Sennacherib's time. He was one of the most famous Assyrian rulers, known for his military campaigns and building projects.
So 2,700 years before Christ, they had a very developed geometric science. They were organized, and as you can see, they carved these stones in regular depth and dimensions. They are about 4 meters, or 13 feet square, and in structured and precise shape. They are all the same size.
The archaeologist says the factory would have put the liquids into pottery jars and shipped them to the capital of the Assyrian Empire, which is now Mosul in northern Iraq. Andrew Thomas, NTD News.
That's the latest business updates for today, but you can still catch NTD Evening News with Stephanie Cox that begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. For NTD Business, that's all for this week. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.